Open up that. Open up that. Okay. We should be up and running here now. So welcome, those of you that are here and part of this go at a live feed. We don't do very many live feeds, so we'll see how it goes, and if we can hold it together here. I'm going to move my screen share here over to our Discord chat room. Actually, you know what? I'll just pull that off for now. We can just chat for just a moment as we get started. We don't have a, and then I'm going to move a couple of screens just around here for just a second so that I can get this out of the way. Bear with me just a second.
Oh, nice. Instead of you can't even go outside. Very hazy. It's getting hazy. TV generation today is not going to be a day for me to cut over something. The battery and put it in the garage.
Okay.
How good this is with Brent?
All right, welcome, folks. We are going to go ahead and get started here, and I'm going to go ahead, I think, and just mute all of you guys. Should have the ability here to unmute your mics inside of the Zoom feed, and so we can talk like that. But I'm going to mute you all right now so that it will be a little bit clearer. And then if you have a question and you want to, you can either chat inside of the live feed on YouTube, or you can either talk. So either way is fine if you want to go ahead and get some information. I'm going to move this screen over here too so that it's a little bit easier for me to keep my eyes on it. And we'll go ahead and get started. So first of all, thanks for attending. I know that we have had a lot of questions recently about the trading room, and you know, that's great. And so I just kind of wanted to start with that and make sure that we can get any of your individual questions answered. Sometimes it's easier to do it in a format like this. And so I'll just give you a little quick intro on you know, who I am and what we do. And then if you have any individual questions, again, you can either type them in the live chat on the YouTube stream, or you can open up your mic and chat with me in the Zoom feed. And I'll be using the Zoom feed to sort of move around and show you some of the features of our Discord chat room. So my background, I have done nothing but traded my whole life. Started in 1987 as a stockbroker on Wall Street, did a little investment banking, ran a financial planning firm that we built up to 3 states for a while. But my background was really options. I was the options trading specialist at the brokerage firm that I was at during my time on Wall Street. And then I had a fortunate opportunity in about 2000 or so, to meet Robert Kiyosaki. And you guys probably know or have heard of him, Rich Dad Poor Dad author, #1 financial author of all time from book sales, at least. And he had obviously started a stock and options trading system. And I was fortunate to be one of his trainers for that program. And so before, along with Robert Kiyosaki, I guess I should say through Robert Kiyosaki, I met Tony Robbins, and Tony Robbins had a financial prosperity program that taught stock and options trading, and I was one of his trainers for that program. And so through those two individuals, I met some pretty cool people in my life. I think mentors are always a big part of what we do. And then in addition to that, on top of the mentors that I was able to meet, probably more importantly, over the decades, been able to travel to all 50 states in the United States, been able to travel to countries outside of the United States. And it sounds like a crazy number, but I've been able to work with somewhere between 100 and 200,000 traders, new traders, experienced traders, traders that, as you can imagine, trade all different styles and approaches to the stock market. And it's been just a huge life lesson for me in human psychology, first of all, but also in terms of how people trade and what the bigger hurdles are that we face. So that's kind of my background. Prior to the pandemic, we had probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 people that I had traded with in the past that had said, hey, it would be nice if we could figure out a way to be able to connect with each other, in a live format and share ideas and share our trades. And, a couple of them said it would be nice if we could just see your trades. We're not taking them necessarily as recommendations, but we just would like to see what you do. And I had no idea how to do that. I am not that technically sharp. And so it was literally my teenage son at the time that said, well, you can do they have these programs. I mean, Zoom is ubiquitous now, and, everybody is doing Zoom feeds, but it really wasn't that popular before the pandemic. And he says, you can have these live interactive feeds. And there's a thing called Discord, which is a live chat room where you can post information and get live communication. I'm just like, I've never heard of all that stuff, but we got it going, we got it started. And then really the pandemic was an absolute blessing for us. We couldn't have really timed this program any better. When we started it off, I said, listen, there's some cost, there's some overhead to running this. I don't mind sharing my trades with all of you because, I'm doing them anyway, right? It's not extra work for me. I'm doing them anyway. But there is some cost to running the servers and things like that. So if I could get 10 of you, if 10 of you would commit to chipping in a little money, then that would cover the overhead and we could do this. Well, the pandemic hit, and you had a lot of people that were type A's, that were go-getters, that wanted to accomplish something, but they were sitting home. And trading from a computer remotely or from your home, as the case may be, is very appealing to a lot of people. And so our trading room just absolutely exploded at that point. It just absolutely exploded. And we've never looked back. We continue to add trading strategies, ideas, content, and we continue to try to build it up. And I've always said, and I know it sounds arrogant, but I've always said that this is the best trading room on the internet. This is the best trading room out there, and it should be. It should be the way that it's structured. It should be the best because it is designed. I always say it's designed by me. Or it's designed by you through me. It is you as members of our trading room here that are constantly, and when I say constantly, I mean every day, saying, hey, why don't we do this instead? Or why don't we structure this way instead? Or why don't we add this? Or this really isn't valuable. Let's delete this. So our trading room is a live, breathing organism that is always in flux and is always changing, and we're always trying to improve it and grow it And it's built by you guys. So the reality is that if you don't like it, it's your own fault because you're the one that is responsible for building it, right? So anyway, hey Bobby, good to see you. Thanks for being on the live feed. So that was kind of the genesis of our trading room. Now, our trading philosophy. The biggest thing I think that I got from my time on Wall Street was working with other professional traders. So, Tony Robbins, when I had the opportunity to work with him, he was, of course, he has a ton of great sayings, right? But the one that he always talked so much about was mirroring people that you wanted to have the same type of success. So, whatever it is you want to do, if you want to learn to knit, if you want to learn to sew, whatever it is, go find somebody that's really proficient at that and then just mirror them, model what they do. And so I had a pretty nice upbringing as a trader, being around professional traders, other professional traders, and seeing what the results were. And on Wall Street, the results talk, and what else walks, right? And so you quickly knew who knew their stuff, and you knew what they were doing, how they were trading to get those. And so that carried over into our philosophy here. There are quite a few trading rooms, trading services programs out there that I've seen that are very interesting. And in some cases, I actually know the traders that are running them. But they're not really there to make money. They're there for fun or entertainment or interaction. But in terms of, waking up every day, logging in there and saying, hey, I really want to try to make $1,000 a day minimum, that opportunity is not really there. And so obviously on Wall Street, money talks. And if you were a producer, as we called ourselves, if you were a producer, if you could put up the numbers, then you could write your own ticket. So our philosophy here is that we do focus a lot on options trades. We have several strategies that we use that are equities, but we focus a lot on options trades. We focus a lot on credit type trades that are built around theta, so that they should make money through the passage of time and us not necessarily being right. I appreciate you guys being here. It's a Saturday afternoon, and you've got other things to do, but you're here because you're looking for something. You're looking for ways to make the market easier to work with. And I think we all are. And that's kind of dangerous. There's so many enticing software programs out there and subscription services. And I mean, you name it. There's so many things out there today that we that are enticing to us because they could be the holy grail. I just had somebody in our chat room the other day say, hey, I found this, he's brand new trader, brand new in the trading room. I found this new approach that, I've back tested it for the last 3 days and it has 100% accuracy. And I just said, look, no offense, but you haven't come up with anything new. Unless you found some new indicator that I haven't heard of in the last 35 years. I've seen it before, right? There is no holy grail. And so one of our philosophies or mantras that we try to utilize as we trade is we respond, we don't predict. We respond, we don't predict. Tony Robbins talks about this a lot. And so does Robert Kiyosaki, for that matter. Sometimes, the more educated you get, the more uneducated you sound to the masses out there. The 99%ers that are just making up the bell curve of what is average, right? Average is the best of the worst of the best. And it's just people throwing money into passive investments. And so you want to do things in a different way. And we try to do that. So I love it when people get into our trading room and find opportunities or situations that are maybe different than what they're used to in the past. Doesn't necessarily guarantee them success, but it means that it's going to be, something different than what they've experienced in the past. So I'll tell you quickly some of the philosophies or things that we've tried to incorporate into our trading room, and then I just want to talk about some of the channels that we have in some of the trades that we do, and then we can have a little Q&A. If you guys have questions, I'd be happy to answer them for you. Okay. So there's a couple of things that I always thought about that would make sense in this in an endeavor like this. And number one is a real, true, honest, free trial. We take your credit card information when you set up a trial with us because we have to. That's the mechanism that all of these systems use to track you, to assign you a username and all of that, but we don't charge it. We don't charge it. And so I'll just say angers me, sort of angers me a little bit to see all of these programs out here saying, hey, come start with our free trial. And the free trial is some variation of their normal program. Maybe it's a discounted fee, or maybe it's a shortened period, but you're still paying them money. And that's not a trial. A trial is where you can try before you buy. So I get it. I have in my lifetime spent over $250,000 on mentors and masterminds and software and training and coaches and workshops, and you think of it, I've done it, right? And every time you drop a check, whether it is for $10 or $10,000, you're always kind of like, geez, am I really going to get any value out of this? And so I number one, wanted to remove that hurdle, just take that off of the table, so that is not an issue, so that there is no barrier to giving it a try, to giving it an entry. So we do have a free trial. One-on-one interaction is another big thing for me. There are also a lot of what I would call trade alert services out there today. And frankly, I will say frankly, for me, I believe that those are almost criminal, right? It's something like, hey, give me your cell phone and I'll text you a trade idea every day, right? And then there's no interaction, there's no follow-up, there's no discussion of what do you do if the trade goes against you, or what do you do if the trade isn't working, or how do you manage the trade, where do you exit on a profit? There's none of that. And so we really are against all of that, and we are really for that actual one-on-one interaction. As I got started trading, my path was no different than anybody else. I had teeny tiny amounts of money when I was 17, 18 years old. Blew up my first two accounts. One was, I think, $2,000 or $2,200. Another one was $4,000, which for a teenager was just, back in the 80s, was a ton of money. I mean, it was devastating. And the thing that kept me trading, and the thing that kept me going, was this idea that trading is a zero-sum game. For one to win, one must lose. For every buyer, there must be a seller. For every seller, there must be a buyer. And so for me, that meant that every trade was a winner. Every single trade you can ever make is a winning trade for one side of the transaction, right? So if you didn't make money, if you lost $1,000 in a trade, the person on the other side of your trade is the one that got that $1,000, right? So in that essence, every trade is a winning trade. And I had also, obviously, as I got older, seen people on Wall Street that I didn't feel were necessarily geniuses or anything, but they had systems. They did things in the right way. So we have one-on-one interaction. If you're not, if you're dedicated to this, right? And I'm going to say that's one of the primary things, is just you. It's not strategies. It's not the market. It's not being right or wrong. It's you and your dedication to trading. Probably once every 2 or 3 weeks, I get somebody that signs up for a trial in our program, and I will get an immediate email cancellation. Immediate. And I'm like, hey, what happened? I mean, you just barely signed up. Yeah, I tried to log in and my password didn't work, and it's just too much work. It's just too frustrating, I'm like, that's your barrier for paying, because you have to it does take work, it does take effort, and you got to put some work into it. But if you're willing to do that, and you're willing to follow the steps of how you should properly trade, and you're committed to that process, and you're not yet having the success that you desire, there's a reason why. There is a reason, right? It's not just the whim of the trading gods or against you or something like that. There is a reason why it's not working. And with one-on-one interaction, we can get in there, we can delve into what you're doing, and generally we can find those weak spots. And we can just say, hey, you're doing, whatever, 12 things here. 10 of them are great, but these 2 things you got to eliminate. So one-on-one interaction is huge. I had a member several months ago come to me and he said, hey, kind of embarrassed to have this conversation with you, but there's this other trading program that I want to go give a try, and I can't afford both of you guys. So I'm going to, I've seen what you do, and so I'm going to drop your program and go try his. And I said, that's fine. I actually know the trader that runs that program, and he's a great person and he's a great trader. But I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Inevitably, if you're serious about trading, you'll have questions, right? And you will never speak with him directly. You will never have a conversation with him. You will be directed to a website where you will fill out a contact form, and within 24 to 48 hours, you get an answer back from one of his flunkies that may or may not know as much as you know about trading. And of course, it will be a day or 2 late, and it won't help you with the trade that you were asking questions on to begin with. And sure enough, a few weeks later, he came back and he said, I can't get support. I just can't get support. So one-on-one interaction, you and I talking directly together with each other, me getting to know you, you getting to know me, going through how you trade, what you've traded, what your background is. I think it's a real key to helping you guys succeed as traders. And that's part of the program as well, that one-on-one. Transparency and results. I never knew that there was another way to do this. I just assumed naively that everybody did this. And what I'm talking about is transparency with your trading, right? So I trade in a real account. I do not have any virtual accounts. I trade with real money. It's my money. It's not prop funds. It's not funded by somebody else or a company. It's my own hard-earned money. And then every trade that we do it in a live time fashion. I'm not showing you a trade that I did yesterday. You're literally watching me do it live as I am pushing the buttons. And then those trades are all timestamped. So they're recorded for posterity. You can't talk your way around a trade that didn't work, because everything that I did was recorded, and you guys can review those at any time. And then all of our live trading sessions where we're using a Zoom feed, those are recorded as well. So when we have a crazy day, we've had a couple of crazy days this last couple of weeks where we've had to really get in and frenetically adjust some trades, and that's all recorded, so you can go back and watch that for your educational purposes and reviews. But it is amazing to me how many people on YouTube or social media or Twitter or what have you will tout how amazing they are as traders. And when I say, can you show me your results, they will talk in round numbers or nebulously, or give you a 30,000-foot view of kind of how their trades do. I saw one person put up a spreadsheet of how the trades that they do would work out if certain parameters were hit, right? If there was an 80% win rate, if we were booking profits at this level, the what if analyses. I thought, I don't care about that. I want to see your actual results. Don't give me hypotheticals. So good, bad, or indifferent, every one of our trades is recorded. So and look, honestly, you don't learn a whole lot from your winning trades. You learn from your losing trades. At least that's the idea. That's how we're supposed to learn. So we record everything that we do. The next thing that I'm really big on is unlimited support. I never ever, we had some members that were worried about this initially, and we've talked through this. I never ever want to get bigger than where I don't know you by name. I know by name pretty much every single person in our program. I don't want to get big enough that when you have a question, you have to wait for me to get to you. I want to be able to instantly communicate with you. So we do communicate. We're big believers in communication. Every problem, I used to have he's moved away now, but a old retired marriage counselor that lived in my neighborhood, and his favorite saying was, any problem can be solved with good, honest, open, two-way communication. And I don't know if that always works in marriages or not, but I really like the philosophy behind it, and I know it helps in trading. When you have questions, you need to have somebody to chat it out with, to talk with, and that's what we do, right? That's the key. Is I think we're going to give you unlimited support. I always joke about this, but it's pretty much 24-hour a day support. We have members on every continent in the world, and consequently every time zone in the world. And so people are tuning in at all different times of the day for them. And I am pretty much a full-time trade. Well, not pretty much. I am a full-time trader, and I do it a lot. And so I will be up. I'm in Mountain Time. I live in Utah, but I'm up Mountain Time sometimes at 2 a.m. Trading the European Opens. I trade futures, so I'm up usually through the nights. You ask, that's one of the first questions you can ask when you get in the trading room is, how responsive is Scott to my questions? And if you want to shoot me a question at 3 a.m, it may take me a little bit, I'd have to sleep at some point, but I usually am pretty darn responsive. So communication and unlimited support is very important. Market commentary is a big thing for us. We really do not want to be viewed or used as a trade alert service. Oh, wow, how cool is this? Scott's a professional trader. He's going to show me his trades in real time. I'll just follow along, whatever he does, right? We're here to learn. We're here to grow as traders. And we want you guys to be able to, it's the old philosophy, right? Are you gonna feed him a fish and feed him for a day, or are you going to teach him to fish and feed him for life? And we love it when a member comes and says, "Hey, been with you for 8 months. I'm canceling my subscription." And I say, "Why?" And they're like, "I got it. I've learned what you do, and I'm good. I can go out and do it on my own." And to me, I'm like, man, that's mission accomplished, right? So a big part of that, every morning, I spend a good deal of time, probably an hour to an hour and a half every single morning, putting together my market commentary for that day. I will put some analyses together. I will put some charts together. I will show you where my support resistance areas are. We will go through 12 different technical indicators. We will go through a dual overlay of simple and exponential moving averages, all the way from 5 days out to 200 days. We create a bullish mode, a neutral mode, a bearish mode. I talk about pivot points and where I'm, a volume profile, where I'm looking to place trades as the day goes by, so that, again, that can change, that will change as the day progresses, but you've got a pretty good idea in the morning of where I'm at mentally with the market and what I'm looking to do that day, and how, most importantly, how I'm looking to trade that market. So we try to put that market commentary in usually an hour before the market opens up, the cash market opens up. The other thing that is a big part of our program is trading ideas and philosophies come and go in vogue. And I've been trading zero DTE strategies for 30 plus years. Now, before you say, wait a minute, there haven't been 0 day to expiration options 30 years ago. No, there weren't. We called 0 DTE back in the day, back in the brokerage industry, we called it the third Friday of each month. We had one 0 DTE day each month. And, then we went from monthlies to weeklies, and that was amazing, right? And then we went from weeklies to 3 days a week, and that was amazing. And now we're every single day. And I think that that's primarily the reason that if you are looking for trading ideas, if you're hunting around on YouTube or any of these social media platforms, 0 DTE, 0 days to expiration, or essentially what is really known as a day trade, is so popular right now. And, day trading has always been a situation where if you came to me and said, and had a question and said, I want to trade a strategy that gives me my best bang for my buck. It's a strategy that can make me the most amount of money in the least amount of time. Well, that's always been day trading. There's nothing special about 0 DTE. If you're trying to make the most amount of money in the least amount of time, that's always been day trading. But it's very in vogue right now, and it's very popular. And every single thing you can do in the market has pros and cons. Every single thing. There is no panacea. There is no trade that has just simply all upside and no downside. And 0 DTE is no different. And so some things that I will throw out as a cautionary tale for you with regards to 0 DTE is, number one, I see a lot of people exclusively trading it. That's all they're doing, is trading 0 DTE. There is no professional trader in my life that I have ever met. There is, I've worked with over almost at least 100,000, probably closer to 200,000 traders over the last 35 years. No trader I've ever met that's like, yep, this one strategy is so amazing, has so much upside, so little downside, that's all you ever need. That's all you want to focus on. So I see a lot of traders just focusing on 0 DTE. That's not a good approach. It's not a sustainable, consistent approach if you want to build consistent income. It also has it can have some pretty scary risk reward ratios. So we love it. We trade it every single day. It is kind of the premier trade that we do in our trading room. And it gets a lot of the attention, and a lot of the chat in the chat room is about the 0 DTE setup. We have an amazing track record. I'm looking at my other computer here right now. Let me just pull up last week's performance review. We have done on Tuesday, Thursdays of this year, we've done 33 trades this year on the new cycle, the Tuesday, Thursday expiration dates. We've done 33 trades, 32 of the 33 were winners. This year on the Monday, Wednesday, Friday cycle, there's been 109 trading days. We've done 167 0 DTEs on those days. Of the 167, we've had 162 winners. So I like to think that we know what we're doing. I like to think we have the best 0 DTE track record on the internet, but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be your only focus. So we have 20 to 25, depending on how you count them. We have 20 to 25 additional strategies that we trade on a consistent basis. And one of the big things that we believe in is non-equity correlation, building a book of trades that interact with each other in a positive expectancy way. And what that means is getting away from the conversation of diversification. Diversification is a stupid thing to think about. We talk about it so much in the marketplace, and nobody understands it, and nobody does it right. People will say, well, I have 20 positions on, or I have money spread across 10 different mutual funds, or I have I have 20 of these or 20 of these. And I say, that's great. What happens with all 20 of those positions tomorrow when the Dow crashes by 1,000 points? Oh, well, they all go down. Oh, okay. So that's not really diversification then, is it? That's called spread around. We want to have non-equity correlation. We want to have positions in our model portfolio so that when the stock market goes down, they go up. The easiest example that financial planners always use are bonds, right? Typically, when the stock market goes down, bonds go up. There's a lot of things like that. Commodities. There's a lot of commodities that, as we like to say, are in the market, but not of the market. They're traded in the stock market, but copper is going to move independently to the Dow Jones Industrial Average or the S&P or the NASDAQ. The prices of copper don't have any relevance or correlation to what those equities are doing, right? So we trade copper, we trade a lot of other things, but we have probably 20 to 25 unique strategies that we use above and beyond the 0DTE. I would challenge you to find a more robust, more diverse trading room versus what the strategies are that we have. And as we get into questions here in just a second, we'll go through the channels and I can show you the different trades that we do. The last thing that I'll just say, and then we can get into questions if you guys have them. The last thing that I'll just say is that we really strive to put ourselves in a position to be able to make at least $1,000 a day. Now, that's a little bit of a tricky statement to make because number one, really we should talk percentage returns, right? Because if you have $1 million to trade, making $1,000 a day is not an impressive result. If you have $1,000 to trade, making $1,000 a day is amazing, right? So it's all relative speaking, but you guys can take the opportunity, if you have not done so yet, to check out our weekly performance review videos on the YouTube channel. And you can see how much we have made each week, how much we have made or lost each week, return-wise, and then how much average buying power we have deployed. And, people think, oh, you got to have $250,000. You got to have $100,000. We're not deploying that kind of money. In a lot of cases, on a weekly basis, we're working with $10,000 to $20,000. And that gives us the opportunity. Again, it's an opportunity. It's not a guarantee. We can't make guarantees. It's against the law to make guarantees. And there are no guarantees anyway, right? You guys know that. But we do know that we can guarantee you that the opportunity is there. So I see a lot of trading rooms right now. They're just focused on what is hottest. So what's hottest right now is 0DTE trading. The easiest way for them to get you to trade 0DTEs is using some form of an asymmetric trade, a trade where you're putting very little risk on and getting a lot of potential reward. Probably the best example of that type of a trade is a butterfly, right? Problem with butterflies is they work 15 to 20% of the time. Probabilities of success of those are very low, but you'll never risk a lot of money. You'll never blow up your account. You'll never go bankrupt with those trades. So that's what they use. But you are not going to have the opportunity to make $1,000 a day in those trades. So if you just want to have fun, if you just want to chat and hang out with other traders, those are great. But if you're serious about making money, you need more strategies. You need a dynamic approach. Okay. And that's what we give. We do find opportunities pretty much every day to make at least $1,000. Whether we do or not, that's on us. It's not on the market. It's on you and I and how we are able to interact on that trade. I used our trading experience from yesterday, from Friday, yesterday in the trading room. We put on a 0DTE on the SPX. I think I had $15,000 in the trade and I brought in $2,500 of premium. Now that presents a pretty nice opportunity because it means you don't have to have a full capture. You don't have to wait till the end of the day to still get a great return. I was thinking, man, even if I get, a partial capture here, I could pull $2,000 out of the day. And that would be an amazing day, right? I ended up with just around $800 of profit on the day. I made all kinds of mistakes yesterday. Most of our members in our trading room did much, much better. Most of them were getting 50% captures, which, would come in obviously around $1,200 of income. So that everybody in the trading room did much better than I did. My point obviously is that we can find the opportunities. The opportunity was clearly there to hit it out of the park yesterday, but it's going to be ultimately on us as traders as to whether or not we can properly execute on that. I did a poor job yesterday of properly executing, right? So anyway, that's a quick rundown. I do see a couple of questions coming in here in the live chat. So let me just take a look at those real quickly here, and then we'll jump in and we'll see. And you guys can unmute yourselves in. You can do it however you want. You can either type into the live chat in YouTube, or you can open up your mic and we can talk in the Zoom feed. Either way, whatever works for you. Rye, I think it's Rye, R-Y-U. I'm probably not saying that right. But yeah, typical drawdowns are going to be 3 to 4 times. If you get beyond 3 to 4 times, it starts to get really tough to recover it, right? So anyway, let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'm going to jump into our Discord chat room and I'm going to show you our channels. Okay. So let me just move my screen over here for a second. We'll switch our screen share over to Discord. I don't know if you guys have used Discord before, if you're familiar with Discord or how that works, but there's a chat room and there are channels along the side. And so here's our Zoom feed. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we have a live Zoom feed here in our live trading room. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're doing a live Zoom feed for scalping evenings. I haven't talked about that too much here. That's sort of a whole different ball of wax is scalping. And then our trade only chat. This is where all of our conversations take place with regards to our trades that we're working on that particular day. Okay, our off-topic chat. This is about trading ideas as well that maybe we're not necessarily trading as official trades, but our members are in there talking about different strategies and setups and things like that. All of our zero DTE trades that we do on the live Zoom feed on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays go right in here. So again, every trade that we do is timestamped. There's never a situation where you can pretend that you didn't have a bad day if you did have a bad day. We will go through, and document every single trade that we do. Our zero DTEs from Tuesday, Thursday days are in here, and then bonus training. So every week, I try to throw some training and education materials up for you guys to help you with your trading. We do a performance review every week for how our trading went. I have other educational pieces that I put up. And so there's just a lot of stuff in here that we go through that is just there to try to help you guys be better traders. Okay. We do also, I've been so bad. I've been so lax on my video YouTube updates, but we also do a weekly preview, and this usually comes out Sunday evening or early Monday morning before the cash market opens. And I will go through in detail, again, what we're looking to trade. I think having a plan and having structure in your trading is really important. I just think that that's really critical to being able to start your Monday trading, kind of already knowing what you're going to be looking to trade on Thursday or Friday. So that'll give you a quick overview. Our daily market news channel. So let me talk about this a little bit. Every morning I will come in before the cash market opens up, and I'll give you my overview for the day, my biases in the marketplace. I'll give you my support resistance areas. We'll show you, the matrix that we're using for about 12 different technical indicators, the dual overlay of simple and exponential moving averages, where the main pivot point is for the day. And that'll give us a market bias. I get into some pretty deep analyses on Fibonacci levels here in the marketplace and what that's going to look like on a daily basis. And then pivot points. We talk about pivot points as well. And then in addition to that, as we get started, I do trade in a live account, and I try to keep my account around $100,000. Okay. And it will ebb and flow. It will go down below that and up above that. We've had 2 really amazing weeks, and so it's well up above it now. But I'll pull some money out to try to keep it around there. And every trade I do, again, we have what I call a model portfolio, and I will list those for you every morning. So you just don't get off track. Exactly what I've got going in there. Okay. As the day progresses, I'll list the most active big board stocks and what the market internals at the end of the day were. The AD line, the advance decline line, big thing for us. Big part of how we try to take the pulse of the market. So the advanced decline line, it's a big deal for us. And I'll put that in there as well. So that's all in the daily market news channel. Jane, I see a question coming in. Understand keeping your room small. You offered some free memberships recently. Any chance you'll provide a middle or lower tier? $250 a month is high to start, even with the guarantee. Thanks for the question, Jane. A couple things. We never offered anything free. We had an audit program where people would come in and were basically put to work auditing our program, finding anything that they wanted that they thought as traders we could use to improve the program. So thanks, first of all, for bringing that up, because again, it kind of shows that this program is built by you guys. If you don't think this is the best trading program in the world, it's kind of your fault because you guys are the ones that build it. You guys are the ones that asked for certain aspects to have in there. But it was an auditing program. And so that was just temporary in nature. The $250 fee. So, man, it sounds like a sales line, doesn't it? But price is what you pay. Value is what you receive. You can take this however you want. It can sound prideful and arrogant. I feel like we could charge $250 a day and it would be underpriced. It would be undervalued. Price is what, when people say it's high, $250 is high. Let me look quickly at our figures, not from this past week. I'm still working on this past week's review. The week before, average buying power deployed was $12,125. Net profit for us on the week was $12,525. Now, there's no guarantees in life. I'd love to, but I can't guarantee you $12,000 a week. But I think paying $250 a month for a program that could make you $12,000 in a week, I would disagree with you. I don't think that's high. I think it's not even worth worrying about mentioning, right? But there is a mindset there. There is a mindset. Is your mindset, hey, I'm spending $250, or is your mindset, I'm investing this and investments give me a return, right? So just about mindset, really, more than anything. Michael, I don't see a Discord channel for the 4DTE. 4DTEs. So Michael, I'll get into thank you again for the question on that. And does the 4DTE require checking in multiple times a day? Thank you for that question. So our 4DTEs are usually done on Mondays. Mondays are our busiest day because we have a 0DTE, we have a 4DTE on the Qs, we have a 4DTE on the SPY, and we have a weekly IWM credit strangle on IWM. So it's always a busy morning on Monday where we kick those off. We do the 4DTE trades for a couple of specific reasons. Not everybody has the ability to sit in front of their screen all day long and stare at their trades, which is really what a 0DTE requires. And even if they do, some people don't want to. Some people are like, this is the last thing I want to do with my time is stare at a computer screen all day long, right? So a 0 DTE is probably not appropriate for them. A 4 DTE is. A 4 DTE trade is a trade that you need to check in on once a day. It's not something that you need to stare at the screen at. You check in on it once a day. So if you don't want to have a screen stuck to your face all day long, 4 data expiration trades are great. We also use the Qs and the SPYs versus the SPX and the NDX. They're 1/10 the size. So if you have an account that's less than $25,000, you are going to run into PDT issues, right? Pattern day trading issues. If you open and close too many trades in the same day in a week's time frame, your account's going to get frozen. You'll only be able to exit trades. So if you are what we like to affectionately refer to as capital constrained, and we're all capital constrained to some point, right? But if you are capital constrained and you are below $25,000, 0 DTEs are not for you. There's other trades, and that's where the 4-day to expiration trades come in. Okay, so thank you for that question. I might have skipped those had you not. So those are generally going to be on our Mondays. Okay, our Monday channel. Hedge trades. So I've got one. Well, you know what? Let me bounce over here for just a second. I've got one. See if I can stop this share, and we'll start a new share, and I'll show you our model portfolio. I got one of these going right now. Get this out of the way. There we go. I've got one of these going on right now with this E-mini trade right here. So you can see I've got, I am long one E-mini contract. If we looked at it on a chart, you can see there's my entry point right there. One long contract of the E-mini futures. And I've been cash flowing that. I've been selling a covered call on that. We brought in $600. So this is a $15,000 trade. But we brought in $600 on it on Thursday. We brought in $1,100 on it on Friday. And I've got still a little bit of extrinsic value sitting in it for Monday's expiration. This trade, we had a 0 DTE trade that was getting threatened on the call side. And so as a hedge for that, we went long one futures contract so that if our 0 DTE is losing money, our long futures contract is making money. And that's worked out quite nicely for us. So hedges are not always designed to necessarily have a primary goal of making money. I'll switch back over to our Discord. They're designed to be insurance protection, but it is certainly nice when they do make money for us. Okay, so we do hedge trades from time to time. We use futures with those. It's nice when, and I will say this, by the way, we pretty much trade all day long. Just because the market's closed doesn't mean anything to us. We traded Labor Day. We traded the futures market. So we trade all the time. It's nice to have futures because if we get a news catalyst that happens overnight and you see the futures market dipping or shooting up, and you know how that's going to affect your positions the next day, we can hedge. You don't have to wait for the market to open up. You can hedge those right away in the evening hours. So we do trade in the evening. Okay. Oil trades. We love to trade non-equity correlated items, and oil is one of those. We trade oil every single Wednesday. Every Wednesday, oil inventory numbers are released, and that creates a catalyst in oil. And so we'll trade those. I'm looking at our oil trade. Let's bounce back over there. A lot of screen share bouncing around here, so apologize for that. But here's our current oil trade right here. There's our oil trade. So I got about 5,500 in that. We just put it on, and it's up $600 right now. But there's the potential. This was a week-long trade. Had 7 days to expiration when we put it on. It's got 5 days to expiration still left in it. 5,500 in the trade. $1,500 of income potential. Again, there's no guarantees, but you're going to be hard pressed. You're going to be hard pressed to find something to trade that can give you a bigger ROI potential than oil. Oil is not the easiest thing to trade. It can be a little tricky, but it is non-equity correlated, and we love that. Okay, so we trade oil every single week. Volatility trades. We do earnings trades all the time. Now, one of the things that I will say on each one of our trading strategies, we have training that goes with each one of them. If you get in the channel and you go click on the pin at the top, you'll see that there's a guide right here that you can download. There's all of the rules here that we use, and there is a video tutorial of how we trade these setups. So we trade volatility all the time, and that's been a good trade for us. Bear market trades. Let me find the risk graph for this. So this is one that we just closed out at about a 10% profit. This is a bear market trade. This is a trade that, again, let me look at our history tab here. We've been doing bear market trades now for almost 4 years. They're really hard to find. It takes me probably 40 minutes to do the research to find one of these. And then at the end of it, you get to the point of looking at it and you're like, yeah, just spent 40 minutes on this and this doesn't work. But so they're hard to find. Over the last 4 years, we've only done 69 of these. But of the 69 bear market trades that we've done, 66 have been winners. And so it's a great, great trade. It's a trade that's designed to make money to the downside. So, you know, this market this year has been amazing for us. It's just been amazing. And if you are mentally constrained or conflicted that the market is down, that's on you as an individual, right? That's your mindset. We love down markets. We prefer down markets. Down markets are way better than bullish markets. Generally, the move in a down market is bigger than an up move, has more velocity behind it, and the premiums we get in the option market are usually better. So we would prefer that the market never, ever go up ever again. But we love these bear market trades. We did one with Merck that turned out quite well also. Those are hard trades to find, but we love those. Another question coming in here. How is the direct interaction with you facilitated? I'm very keen on learning and discussing directly with you. Is there a chance for direct coaching as part of this program? Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. The very first thing you get when you sign up for a trial, you haven't paid any money. You just signed up for the trial. Very first thing you get is a link from me to schedule a one-on-one Zoom session with me. I don't know what other program does that. You can talk to me anytime. Yeah, it's not an issue. Okay, so that's the bear market trades. Undefined risk trades. Now, I'm not going to belabor this here with you guys today. Okay, this is another separate 2-hour-long conversation. We have mental biases, right? All of us have a mental bias. We believe, you know, politically in a certain way. We believe religiously in a certain way. Whatever it is you want to talk about, we all have our personal biases, right? And some of those are probably correct, and some of those may be not so correct, right? But we need to break ourselves of some of those. And one of the biggest challenges that I have with new members coming in is our undefined risk trades. So I'm going to build a whole separate training video for the YouTube channel on this, but most of you are probably very familiar with credit spreads. A credit spread is easy. In fact, you know what? I'll show you one really quickly here. I don't want you guys to have to be stuck here all day long, but let me just show you one really quickly here. Let's bounce over to our trading room. and let's just go grab something. Let's go grab Tesla. Okay, it doesn't matter what it is. Let's just go grab something, and let's go to 6 days. Let's go a little bit further out. Let's go 13 days out, and let's say that you don't think. Maybe we look at a chart of Tesla and we're like, oh, there's a big resistance level up here at 312. It's not going to go above 312. Okay, it's not going to happen. So we come up here to maybe 320, and we sell a $5 spread. Now, if you look at the numbers on that spread, this is in the risk graph. This is what that trade would look like. It makes sense, right? We've sold a call credit spread. It would make money if Tesla over the next 13 days stayed below $320. It would lose money if Tesla went above that. But the nice thing about this is that you can see right here that your loss is, if you're wrong, your loss is capped, right? It is a defined risk trade. But you'll see it's 78% statistical probability that this trade makes money, okay? So let's just go remove this leg right here. Remember, this is a 78% statistical probability of success trade. Let's remove this leg, and you can see that actually now our probability of success actually goes up. Now we've created a naked position, right? So this is an undefined risk. I mean, you're like, oh my gosh, there's no limit to the losses here. What if Tesla goes up to $1 million a share, right? There's a lot of consternation and worry about undefined risk trades. I will tell you again, going back to Tony Robbins and the shortcut to success in life, finding somebody that is already successful in the field you endeavor to be an expert at and mirror them. Pretty much all we did on Wall Street was naked trades. Pretty much all we did were credit strangles, naked trades. And they have been, so I'm going to bounce back over here now to Discord. They have been fabulous for us. One of the undefined risk trades that we do is an IWM credit strangle. This year on our IWM credit strangle, we've done 37 of these trades. We do one every single solitary week, and every single one of them has been profitable. So they're hitting home runs with zero DTs, putting $10,000 in a zero DTE, making $1,000 in a day. That's awesome, right? But you're going to have days where you put 10,000 in and lose 4,000, you know, a 3 to 4 times loss of your credit. Consistency in your strategies is more important than the dollar profit, okay? Our IWM trades make what a lot of our members say pennies a week, pennies a week. We're making 20 bucks a week, 40 bucks a week. Somewhere between 20 and 40 bucks a week is what our IWM trade brings in on average. That equates to a 26% ROI year to date. Market is down almost 18%. This strategy has never lost a single penny on any trade at any time. And we're up, you know, pushing almost probably to somewhere around a 45 to 50% return on the year. We call this one single trade our millionaire moneymaker because, again, there's no guarantees in life, but $12,000, so 3 IWM naked credit strangles contracts, $12,000 in 9 years at our current implied rate of return is $1 million, right? So you don't need to be hitting home runs all the time, but we do a lot of undefined risk trades. And again, I need to do a better job of making some more in-depth training on that. Dragonflies. One of my favorite trades ever. One of the things that you'll learn in our program is that we are huge on mastering risk graphs. You should not, I believe, whether you're part of my program or not, whatever you do, however you're trading right now, please don't continue to trade unless you really, really feel like you have mastered risk graphs. Everything that you need to know about a trade. Where's my profit and loss zone? What's my max profit? What's my max loss? What would the result of this trade be if we went up $3? If we went down $3? What would happen if in this credit trade 2 days went by, 3 days went by? What would happen if volatility spiked? What would happen if volatility collapsed, right? Your risk graph will answer all of those what if type questions for you. Well, if you're familiar with risk graphs, this looks somewhat like a iron condor, but it's got these little sort of Mickey Mouse or bat wings at the end here. If you understand risk graphs, you'll be as excited about this risk graph as I am. But I believe it's a much better setup than an iron condor. And I'm not going to say that this is a proprietary setup, because it isn't. But I don't see anybody else out there trading this. I don't see a lot of people talking about this. And so those are awesome trades. Those are fantastic trades. Pairs trades. Now, again, if you go to the channel and you go to the very top in the pin, there's a training video on all of these. Pair trades are awesome. Our pairs trades this year, we've done 23 pairs trades. 23 of the 23 have been winners. But most importantly, a pairs trade is where you are basically arbitraging the difference between two highly correlated items. So I think, for example, one that we recently did, well, there's one right there. There's one that we just put on right there. We shorted 8 shares of Foot Locker, and we went long 2 shares of Burlington. Okay, those are highly correlated items. And all we're trading is the difference between those two. If the Dow crashes by 1,000 or goes up by 1,000, it does not affect these trades. These are trades that do not depend on the market doing anything. We're just arbitraging the difference between those two. And these trades, again, have been awesome trades for us. We've done, as I said, 23 of them. All 23 have been winners. They've had great returns. One had just a 1% return, but most of them 2% to 10% returns in as little as 2 to 3 weeks. Problem with these trades is that you can start with 1 share. So many of these pairs trades that we've been doing, I have gotten a massive amount of capital committed to them. And when I say massive, I'm being sarcastic. I $200. $300 committed to these trades. So, when you get a 10% return in a week, that's amazing. When it's on $200, it's not really life-changing. But that's on me. That's not reflective of the strategy. That's just on me not getting enough capital committed to the trade. I'm working on that to try to get more of my capital into these trades right now. We have 3 of these working right now. Pairs trades. Our buy to close, sell to open. This is a little bit of a new trade for us. There again is a lot of training for this in a video. It's on the YouTube channel, but we buy the SSO at the close and we sell it at the open. And when it is above, or excuse me, when it is below the 9-day simple moving average, we sell covered calls against that. It's just a way to utilize our capital overnight. Market's coming to a close. We've booked our profit or loss on our 0 DTE. We've gotten our money back. Now it's just sitting in cash, right? Why don't you put that money to work overnight? Because we're going to exit this trade right when the market opens up the next day. So that's an interesting trade. Still kind of a trade that is evolving. We're still adding some components to that. This is one of my favorite trades of all time, positive Vega credit spreads. So there is a video. Here it is right here. And it is on the YouTube channel. You guys can all watch these. These are all open to the public on my YouTube channel. The long Vega credit spread strategy. Check that out if you're not familiar with it. Credit trades are awesome, but what a lot of people don't understand is that delta, the directional move towards a credit spread, yeah, that's going to hurt your pricing, but the expansion of Vega, volatility expansion, that's a big thing, and we handle it here. We have a way to sort of nullify that component of this. This strategy is a ladder strategy. We add a new ladder to this setup every 2 weeks, so we usually have 3 to 5 positions on at any given time. We're trying to target around 10% a week income on this trade, and so far it has been phenomenal for us. $50 day trades. We don't do these very often, but we do like to do what we call spec trades or prop trades when we have profits to throw at them. We love butterflies. I will tell you, there's probably no trade that you can do that has a higher asymmetric nature to it, meaning you can get 5 times, 10 times your money back, but they don't work very often. They're gambles, essentially. And this is what this is. This is just simply buying a $50. We spend no more than $50 on a out of the money long call or long put when the market is really moving in one direction or another. This one worked out pretty well. We got in at 50 cents here and got out at $2. So we spent $50 and got out at $200. But we only use profits for these trades. So if I made $1,000 in a 0 DTE, I'm going to have no issue throwing 50 of it into this trade, right? I will never, ever lose a penny of my principal in a butterfly trade or a $50 spec trade, because I'm never going to put any of my principal in there. Just going to put profits in there, right? All I'm risking is profits. Commodity trades. We trade beyond oil and gold, which have their own separate channels. We trade natural gas. We trade corn. We trade wheat. We trade soybeans. Things that are in the market, but not of the market. Things that have non-equity correlation. The Dow may crash by 1,000 points. That's not really relevant to what's happening with wheat, right? That's a separate issue. Now, the wheat trade, I want to show this to you just real quickly. I know I'm taking a lot of time, and I'm just continuing to talk because I don't see a lot of questions coming in, so I'll just keep talking. But there's our wheat trade right there. We just put that wheat trade on a whopping $771 in that trade. Let me close that one down and open up the wheat trade. A whopping $771 in there, and I brought in $300 of income on the trade. So pretty, and we got 13 days to go in it. 89% probability of success. So yes, Stuart, let me see if I can get you unmuted. I think you should be able, Stuart, I think you should be able
Yes.
to unmute yourself if you want to ask a question.
I sure do. How are you? Thank you for this today. Can you hear me okay? No?
Let me know if you can't.
We hear you.
You can't? Okay. Everyone can hear me?
I'll keep talking while you work on that.
He's not able to hear me?
I don't
Scott?
think Scott can hear you, but
Let
we
me
can
know.
hear you.
Or you can, or you, if you're in the live YouTube, you can type it in there too. But you should be able to. I think everybody in the Zoom feed should have the ability here to unmute themselves. So just let me
Unmuted.
know. Okay. Our overnight trades. Love this trade. Love the overnight trade. So this has been very popular. We use futures contracts on the E-mini. It's a $15,000 trade, but again, it's an overnight trade. So this is money that you know, would probably otherwise just have sitting in cash if you didn't utilize this trade. We're trying to get $100 overnight out of this trade. And you can see how many of these we have done as official trades here in the group. We've done a whole bunch of them. We have had one of them resulted, and I think it was either last week or the week before, one of them resulted in $168 or $182 loss, somewhere in that range. Maybe it was $186 loss. But other than that, most of these trades have hit, well, all of these trades, other than that one, have hit $100 profit overnight. Boom, 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 boom. It's nice to be able to wake up in the morning to an extra $100 in your pocket. And this has been a big hit in the trading room. And then last but not least is our gold trades. We do ladder gold trades every single week, and we're targeting about 1.5% return. This is not a home run trade that we're looking for. We're targeting 1.5% return a year, a week, 6% a month, 70% a year. I think most people are not very impressed with 1.5% a week, but they're very impressed with 70% a year. Yeah, we can hear Stuart in Zoom. Make sure your speakers aren't muted on Zoom. They probably are. No, my speakers are not. I don't know why. I am so sorry.
Can
Let
you
me
hear us
see if I
now?
can open it up in here. Share
Scott?
sound.
Scott, this is Stuart. Can you hear me?
I've got the share sound open, so I'm not quite sure
No.
why I'm not getting your
He's
sound. I
he's definitely got a
apologize,
problem,
Stuart.
Stuart.
If
I'm
you
gonna
can
type
type
question.
in the YouTube chat, I'd be happy to work on that. I apologize. I apologize, guys. I'm a trader. I'm not a techie. So anyway, that's a quick overview of our trading room. It's kind of how we structure our trades in our day. I know I've kept you guys for a really long time, but I did want to just let you know kind of how we worked and what we did. Let me stop my share here for just a second. Come back to you guys. And let me see, Stuart, if I can come in here and manually. I'm still showing your mic is off.
Scott, can you hear me?
So I don't know, maybe give it another go. Or if you guys want to chat in the live Zoom, that's fine as well. I will also, yeah, Jane, no problems. What's the sign up link? So if you take a look at the last video, that's a good question. That's the sign up link. If you take a look at the very last video that I posted, I will post the links here as well as we end this session. But if you take a look at the very last video that I posted on YouTube, which was last week's performance review, all of those links are in the description box. So the YouTube video is the easiest way to get those. Okay. And I can also drop them in here. Let me grab it real quickly and I'll just type it in for you guys. That might be the easiest way so that you guys can give it a go. And again, if you have any questions, maybe type them. I don't know what the problem with the audio on my end is, but let me know. And let me just grab this link real quickly and I'll type it in for you guys. Okay, it's coming. It's coming. And I'll type it. I will type it as well, guys. I'll type it in the video description as well once we're done here. So, okay, guys, I appreciate all of you guys attending the session. And I appreciate you guys being on board with everything. Let me know if you do have any questions. I'm going to type the link right here, paste it, type it. There we go. There's a sign up link. Michael, one final for the person who cannot watch trades every day. The 4DT sounds great, but what would be the others that you recommend? So that's a good question. So again, the day trades, the zero DTEs, they get so much focus and attention. But again, we do like 25 trades. 90+% of what we do has nothing to do with sitting in front of your screen all day long. And so honestly, if I bounce back over here for just a second, let me grab my Zoom feed. Well, I don't even need to do that. I'll just go through with you on them. Our 4 DTE trades, all the 4 DTE trades are perfect for someone that can't be in front of their screen all day long. The bear market trades, the undefined risk trades, the dragonfly trades, the pair trades, the positive Vega trades, the commodity trades, the gold trades, almost 90% of everything we do is would work for somebody that doesn't have the ability to have screen time.
Program.
And
trading.
It is
Our own
interesting. It is interesting. We've had members who have been part of us for a very long period of time, and they didn't even know that we did other types of trades because all they're focused on is the 0DT. But 90+% of what we do is workable for someone that has a day job and can't stare at the screen. So appreciate that question. Yeah, you bet, guys. First part, I was one of your first group of members, and thanks for sharing your knowledge. Yep, I remember you. I remember you. It's good to have you here. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Let me know if you have any questions. Any of the YouTube videos. Drop a comment, drop a question, drop a query in any of the YouTube videos on the channel, and I will get back to you. So appreciate you guys. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Scott. Bye.